Rough Ashlar is Masonically defined as a stone of crude and primitive condition requiring the working tools of the fellow craft to properly prepare it for adjustment in the building, which, fashioned after the mutations of nature, can never find completion. The ordinary title of stone, given it, in its primary sense, denotes firmness, and is characteristic of lodge labor essential to the preparing of the Masonic stone. Its roughness, therefore, to represent, as it is made to do, chaos, night, winter, and confusion, and its symmetry, with equal certitude, to denote order, beauty, excellence, and summer is as felicitous as befitting inasmuch as the former period is one of sterility and consequent formless matter, and the latter, that of fecundity and every beautiful gift in developed nature. But of its quality of firmness or hardness a consonant mystic interpretation must be found in the heat or caloric of the physics, as this sets the electric and magnetic force free to tension and strengthen the ether, thereby promoting the restoration of order and the filling of the earth with teeming life in all the diversified forms with which we see it bedecked. It is a universal law of chemical solution that if one substance will decompose another, it must be in chemical affinity with that substance, and as electricity or galvanism will decompose all other substances, it must, therefore, contain the chemical properties of all others, of course in their highest ethereal degree. It is this endowment which adapts it to be a universal agent, penetrating, as it does, every element or compound of nature, whether it be the most compact formation or the finest ether. Since, however, the Rough Ashlar is fashioned by the working tools of the fellow craft, the square, the level, and the plumb, it may be proper to ask what really the Rough Ashlar is in the deeper sense, and what the implements that fashion it. Looking to the arcane character of the mysteries, we must know that the Rough Ashlar, in symbolizing the Masonic intrant, can but represent the grand luminary of our solar system, the god of day, who becomes the Rough Ashlar because the red ray represented by the level of the west is subordinated to the blue ray represented by the plumb of the south. This subordination of the red ray to the blue is pointedly shown by the positions of the columns in the west and south respectively during the hours of refreshment which symbolically cover the winter months of the year, or that precise period that answers to the sun's sojourn below the equinoctial. But knowing what the gavel is and its employment by the operative mason to break off the superfluous corners of rough stones, the better to fit them for the builder's use, we may confidently assure ourselves that the Rough Ashlar is that particular object in nature which we so truly declare it to be. This opinion finding strength in the fact that the ancients call the sun a very hot stone, as surely it mystically is. The uncouth or winter character of the sun, however, is exchanged at the moment of the spring equinox, when he is transformed into a perfect ashlar. A thorough squaring having been effected within that quadrant of the zodiac defined by the equinoctial and solstitial colures, and embracing the signs Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, causing them to rejoice in the restoration of life and light to a benighted and wayward world that has known only dark and hidden paths since the year's high 12 or the incoming of summer solstice day. Admitted that the perfect ashlar is identical with the cubic stone, it has this illustration in the degree of sovereign prince of Rose-Croix. Master to warden, what is the hour? Warden. It is the moment, high 12, summer solstice day, that the veil of the temple was rent, year split in halves, when darkness and consternation covered the earth, days were shortened and nights lengthened, when the stars, Pleiades, disappeared, became tenebrous, and the lamp of day, old Sol, was darkened, obscured, so to speak, by the inflowing dark ether, when the implements of masonry, phallic powers of the cosmos, were lost, and the cubic stone, perfect ashlar, generative sun, sweated blood, solstitial heat, and water, depolarized light equivalent to increments of darkness, equivalent to fogs, vapors, and the humidities of winter, that was the moment when the great Masonic word, the perfect ashlar, sun with generative power, increments of light, was lost. Master again. Most excellent brother senior warden, what is the hour? Senior warden. The moment, winter solstice or spring equinox, when the word, phallic power, the perfect Ashlar, was recovered, when the cubic stone, generative sun of springtime, was changed into a mystic rose, the symbol of life-giving light, when the flaming star, the logos with Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo, for 5 mystic points, appeared in all its splendor, spring sheen, when our altars resumed their ordinary form, became ears or open matrix, when the true light, dawn of summer, dispelled darkness, winter, and the new law, at one meant, the reconciliation of the sun and consequently of the earth with Aries, becomes visible in all our works, doings. The Rough Ashlar is a stone. That is, the sun with electric force, emitting what becomes depolarized light. It is happily named a jewel. A thing of electric force because subject to the test of square, level, and plumb underscore, or of the yellow, red, and blue rays of light. It is a rough stone, encrusted with the frosts and blights of winter, in the northeast angle of the lodge, the point where winter ends and spring or summer begins, the equinox of spring. It is to be fitted and adjusted by simple but appropriate implements. Square, level, and plumb, or the yellow, red, and blue rays bespeaking angularizing or electric power. It is to be tested by square and compass. Electric or magnetic force massing matter angularly and spherically, or by the zodiac as a circle and its cross as an angle resultant to the intersection of the solstitial with the equinoctial color. It is a symbol of man's natural state, rough and unpolished, as the Roman historian expresses it, groveling to the earth like the beasts of the field, and obedient to every sordid appetite. Like the sun of winter in its dimness, abased to earth, and inclined to the evils consequent to south declination.